guys, so today I have a collective haul. Now most of this stuff I got off of Depop, but I did also get some off eBay and some off from a garden centre, so I thought I'd just throw them all in together in one haul. This is the birthday cake lollipop, which I got from my most recent spooky box haul unboxing video. It's taken me about half an hour to get to this point, and I'm pretty sure it has not gone at all. Okay, so to start off with, I'm gonna go with the obvious, and I got this amazing Nightmare Before Christmas scarf, and it's covered in Jack skeleton faces, and I just love that they all have different emotions, and it's really big. Like, there's too much scarf for one person here, but I've just like wrapped it around a couple of times. It's a really nice material, and if you couldn't tell by my amazing cushions, I absolutely love The Nightmare Before Christmas and any sort of Tim Burton related thing anyway. And this I got off Depop, and I got it from someone who I've mentioned countless times in the recent videos, a YouTuber called Emily Boo. She has a Depop shop called Emily Boo Boo, and she has just been to Disneyland Paris, and she bought this from the gift store, and I'm pretty sure on the little ticket it said it was 24 euros, I think. Anyway, so she was selling this on Depop for £15, in offer for £12, and she said £13 and we have a deal. So I got this scarf for £13, including postage, and it was pretty much the best purchase I ever made. I didn't think I needed this scarf that much, but now that I have it, I definitely do. And my phone's ringing, I have no idea where it is. Anyway, this is a nice scarf. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm just going to move on because I have no idea what I was talking about. So the next thing I got was from eBay. It looks like a tangled mess at the moment. But it is a fishnet top. Now, strangely enough, I do not actually own any of these other than this one now. I have been getting pairs of fishnet tights looking like so, and cutting a hole at the top and at the bottom, and this has been fine, but recently they've been kind of annoying me, and I just thought I might as well just buy a proper top, because pretty much like the amount of fishnet tights I'm going through trying to get it not to like stretch too largely around the top or anything, it's just cheaper just to buy a top. So I got a fishnet top, and it's really nice. The only thing is, on the eBay listing, it kind of looked as if it had sort of a Morticia Addams, you'll know what I mean, like a triangle thing like that. Like it looked like it went down to your middle finger in a triangle, and I just really loved it. Like, that was the main reason I bought it. And it turned out they just used like a stock photo of a fishnet top, and it didn't have this at all, which is a little bit of a disappointment. But since wearing it, I've kind of realised, because I wear so much stuff on my wrists like 24/7, having stuff that covers my wrist, like a fishnet covering my wrist, would be kind of annoying and get tangled anyway. So I'm kind of happy that it doesn't have this. And this was, I think it cost me around £8. I will link it below if they are still for sale on eBay, but I think it's one of these like big bulk companies, so I'm sure they have loads of them left, and it was one size, and sure enough it fits me absolutely fine because it's super duper stretchy. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is something I got from a garden centre. That was way heavier than I thought it was going to be, and it is this mushroom toadstool. I have bought two of these, but I've only got one because they are super heavy, and it doesn't look like they're heavy, but they are. I have a massive one in my room. I don't know if any of you have seen my DIY video, but again I'll link that below as well. But I have a massive one. I can see it from here. It's on my floor. It's probably around this big, and I've painted it and I made it look amazing. And I just felt like it was a little bit lonely down by itself down the corner of my room, so I bought two little ones to go with it. They're about £9 each from the garden centre, and I just thought I would paint the bottom brown again and red and white at the top, and they're really nice quality. I do have various items which I'm building up to go into my garden when I move out, and these are just so cute, and they're relatively cheap for what they are. I mean, I nearly bought one like this, but it was like a used one. They have this weird like antique store in a town near to me, and they sell like stuff from like National Trust places and things which have been in the garden for like ages. So there's one which is all like cracked and crumbling away with moss all over it, and it looked really cool, but it was like super expensive, so I thought I might as well just buy one new, and I'm sure it won't take long before it gets moss all over it anyway. So the next thing I got, you probably saw me wear in my last video if you watched it, and it was a little ghosty jumper, and this is actually from New Look originally, although I did buy it off of a lady off Depop. I think it cost me £8, so pretty cheap. It's size medium, which is a size smaller than I'd normally go for. I'd normally go for a large, but it fits me absolutely fine. And it's this big knit jumper, which is probably the last thing you need on a nice sunny summer's day, as it is now in England. But it's just so cute, and he looks so like spooky, and as I said, I love it when ghosts look like this, like so couldn't turn it down, and it's all properly like sewn in there. It's like even a little bit sort of furry. I'm going to try and show you what I mean. So like the wool used has these little bits of like fur on it, and it's so well done, and it's like quite a big knit, so it's still quite like airy. I just love it so much. If you are planning on buying one of these jumpers, I would be careful, because they have literally like 40 of them on Depop, but I'd be super careful because some of them are really cheap and some of them are really expensive. I got like a middle of the range one, but some of them are like £20, and then the other ones are literally like £3 or £4. And the ones which are really expensive are just people trying to rip you off, because I'm pretty sure this didn't cost that much anyway to start with. And then the really cheap ones, a lot of them are cropped jumpers, so if you like cropped jumpers then they'll be perfect for you. But I don't really tend to wear much sort of cropped clothing, and these cropped jumpers probably go to about like here on me, and I wasn't really too keen. And I feel like when you're wearing a really big fluffy jumper to keep you warm, the last thing you want to do is have your midriff showing. So whatever, personal opinion, but I'm absolutely in love with this jumper. Another thing I've got, which I actually haven't like hauled one of these before, is a phone case. And the reason why I wanted to show you this is because I actually designed this myself, and it was on a website called Pixa print, I believe, and pretty much you type in your type of phone, which is something I really like, because I know a lot of people don't actually just have like simple iPhones anymore, and they pretty much do a case for every single type of phone. And so I typed in my iPhone 5S, and then it came up with a template, and pretty much you can just add whatever photos you want, any designs you want, any text you want. And I went for like an Addams Family themed one. I've been looking for like a case like this for ages, and I was like shopping around for ages, and I couldn't find anything I wanted, anything that kind of matched what I wanted in my head. And then I was like, why don't I just make one myself and customize it? So I'll just quickly show you what I did on mine, to possibly inspire you if you are planning to make a similar case to this. So I went for only black and white cartoons, and they're all original cartoons of the Addams Family, which were done by Charles Addams. If you're interested about Charles Addams and the history of the Addams Family, I have done a video called The Haunted Histories, which is all about the Addams Family and like character formation and all these different little cartoons he did. But this first one is Gomez pushing Wednesday, and she is on a, like, it's a swing, but it has a broomstick on the bottom, which I really, really love. That's my favourite picture. And then you've got Cousin It here, who's on the phone, and you've got, this one's quite hard to see because it's quite small, but Wednesday's in bed, and you've got Morticia here, and Gomez is just in the corner, and he's casting like a hand puppet shadow of a bat on the wall. And then at the bottom I've got like the Addams Family like table, all like the main characters here at the bottom with like a creepy looking sort of like dinner plate. And then you've got this is the only picture of Pugsley which I actually have. And then just to fill the gap, I have this one here which people don't really notice, but that's like Wednesday's body. You can just see her little collar there. This is one of those little things that you make where you fold paper on top of each other, a bit like a fan, and then you cut out a picture and it looks like they're all holding hands. And like so many people don't understand this cartoon because they don't notice that this one here has 3 legs, and the rest all have 2, so the rest are all normal, but this one's like a little bit of a monster. That's something I do really love about Charles Addams' work, is that you always have to kind of look a bit closer than you normally would to kind of get some of these finer details and the finer sort of sensitive humour that he has. And it is, like, quality wise, the case is amazing. I drop my phone approximately 8 times a day and so my cases really commonly break here and at the bottom here, and there's no like sign of it breaking at all, which is amazing. And it's got like holes in all the right places for the buttons, and it's a really thick plastic, and also it's like super shiny. And all the pictures that I used, they weren't amazing quality. Like I did say when I uploaded them, they weren't great quality, but they've all printed really, really well, and it came out exactly how I was hoping it to. This case, including shipping, cost me £13. Now, I would normally spend between like £10 and £20 on a phone case anyway, and normally these phone cases are pretty similar to what I'm looking for, but they're never quite exactly what I was looking for. So this is exactly what I was looking for, and it's within the price range that I normally spend. So I definitely recommend Pixa print if you are looking for a new phone case. So the next lot of things I have to show you are various sort of crystal items which I've bought. They are all, again, from Depop. I'm literally obsessed with this app, but it seems like every time I tell myself I'm not going to buy anything more from there, I end up buying like 20 more things. This lovely necklace here, which is like a little sneak preview of a video I have coming up, is from a lovely, lovely lady on Depop. She makes all these custom pieces, and I have just ordered literally about 7 more necklaces from her. So I'm going to do those all in one video, but these are just a few like little items which I thought really stood out to me. So the first sort of crystal thing I'm going to show you is this amethyst. Now I really don't need any more amethyst. I have more amethyst than anyone ever needs, but I kind of got this one for sort of superficial reasons rather than like actually wanting to use and experiment with this crystal. And I bought it because when I saw the picture, it reminded me of a pumpkin. Buying crystals offline can be like really tricky. A lot of crystals I buy offline I have literally no connection with when I get them, and I do end up having to sell them on. But this one, I was like really drawn to it in a way which I just felt like it kind of mixed a lot of my personalities together, because I have like, I love amethyst, it's my birthstone, and then when I sort of saw this kind of like pumpkin-y face on the front, it just sort of like mixed my love of crystals and nature and Halloween all together, so I just had to buy it. I'm not even sure if any of you can even work out what on earth I'm talking about, but like there's 2 eyes here, a little nose, and then like a jaggedy pumpkin mouth. I don't know, whenever I saw this, because she had it listed in various different sets for various different people, and every time she listed it I was like, is this sold yet? And she was like, not yet, but it probably will be. And I was like reserved it, but I was like 7th in line or something to get it, but I did end up actually getting it in the end, which I'm really glad no one else wanted it, because I just really liked it. Every time I saw it, I just really wanted to buy it. So I bought this along with 100 other things from a Depop shop called the New Charm Club, and I will write it up here so you can see the spelling. And they sell loads of absolutely beautiful crystals, and this was only, I think this cost me about £5 or £6, so it was, I'd say it's probably just like a good price for a crystal. It's not like overly cheap, but it's not too expensive either. So the next couple of things I got from a lady called Carr, or plain old Megan. I really made quite good friends with this lady, and she gave me a lot of information about up and coming things that she was going to sell, which gave me a little bit of a start with the whole buying thing. With Depop, especially with crystals, they go super quickly, so if you see something you like, you need to like buy it straight away. And a lot of her stuff is so unique that I really want it all, but it gets bought so quickly. So she was kind enough to tell me when she was putting her stuff up and what she was putting up, so that I knew sort of beforehand what, like, whether or not I needed to be on the app at that time. And saying this makes me sound like the biggest shopaholic ever, but the truth is I am. In the crystal community, there are so many of these like crystal headband things that they're selling, and they're always so pretty and so detailed, and they're all handmade, but I'm not really a big like headband person, and I just really wanted one, but I knew I would never wear it, and someone is delivering something. I'm gonna go get it. What was I saying about being a shopaholic? I just got like literally the heaviest parcel I've ever felt in my life. Whew. Anyway, I will open this in a minute and see what's in there. So I didn't want a headdress, so instead I got a little sort of hair piece, and it is all amethyst because I have an obsession. And it's all these really nice raw cut amethysts, and it's all been hand wire wrapped around the amethyst. One of mine is a tiny bit loose, but it's just where, you know, all the shapes of the crystals are different. But it's still like pretty, it's loose but it's not going to fall out sort of thing, and it's just such a pretty design. And as you can see, all the pieces of amethyst are like completely unique. They're all sort of different colours as well, and I've worn this in my hair a couple of times and it's just so pretty. It kind of looks like I've got like a mini tiara on the back of my head, but it's not like so over the top like the big hairbands. I would one day really like to get one of those big hairbands, but they are quite expensive and I'm not really sure how often I'd wear this. I believe this cost me around, like, it was between £10 and £12, so it's a really, really reasonable price for a handmade item, especially with all of these different crystals in it. So the next thing I got from Megan Carr is, I believe it's called like a rainbow aura geode. I just thought it was like so pretty, and it is like, it's just unbelievable. It looks like it's almost like man-made. So the front is this like sort of like titanium-y, like rainbowy sort of colour. It's really smooth, and the back is sort of like a raw blue colour. And then it's got this like beautiful little like cave of like sparkleness and little crystals. And it's so pretty, and it's nothing like anything I have already. Like, as I said, I've been building up my crystal collection again because I did get rid of a lot of it before. And this is just like a really unique piece. I know that a lot of people sell really similar ones, but I've never seen something quite so pretty as this. And the last thing I got from her is this quartz crystal skull. And I have just bought another one of these, which is kind of similar, but it's completely different at the same time. And it's sort of carved as a skull at the bottom, and then on the top it has all these raw crystals. This cost me around £10, but totally worth the money, because this is like different from all my other crystal pieces, and I absolutely 124% love this. Now I just want to know what's in this box, so I am going to scrap the rest of my items that I was going to show you in this video, put them in another video, and break this baby open. I have a slight idea about what this may be, but I wasn't under the impression that it was going to be delivered by Parcel Force, so I'm not really sure, to be honest. Oh, that was like size and a half. I can't actually describe how heavy this is. Well, I can. It says that it's 2.75 kilograms worth of heaviness. So let's see what on earth I have been buying. Okay, I have been waiting for this for a long, long time. So, as I said, I did really have like quite an obsession with amethyst, but there's one thing I hadn't got yet, which I felt like I needed. So here I have the biggest piece of amethyst I've ever bought, and it's a big crystal point. It's like a freaking like weight, and it is so beautiful. I didn't realise from the picture just how pretty this was, but there's so many colours in it and things. So as you can see, this is like the size of my head, and I'm not sure like quite how I'll be using this. It's definitely going to be something new for me to work with and experiment with. It's nothing like I've ever got before. I mean, I've got hundreds of pieces of amethyst, but nothing quite as extravagant as this, and it'll be interesting to see how different this will be compared to sort of smaller pieces of amethyst. But I am so pleased with this. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was, and I can understand why it cost me £13 to send all this stuff, because there's still quite a few other things in here. Okay, so it's filled with loads of paper. The whole life is paper. Okay, so there's another chunk of amethyst. Again, it's rather big, but compared to the other one, it looked tiny in the picture, so I was like, oh yeah, just a tiny piece of amethyst. And there should be another piece of amethyst in here actually. Oh, this piece is absolutely beautiful. Like this, I didn't mention, this was from a lady off of Depop, but unfortunately she was just kind of selling her crystal collection off, so there wasn't much on her Depop other than like literally this amethyst. And she put her Facebook name on there, and if you wanted anything you could contact her through Facebook, and then she'll show you everything that's for sale. But she has she was selling everything because she was moving literally like next week to another country. I can't remember for the life of me what country it was, so unfortunately she's not selling anything else now. She kind of like took her last orders this week. So it's like mainly these 4 really big points, and then it's got loads of little ones. Again, it's like a raw stone, but it just stands out. Like, it stood out so much to me, just the shape. It's so pretty. I mean, like, I know this bit is like completely unique as well, but like this is how like I imagine just like a general piece of amethyst. But this is like absolutely gorgeous. And like size comparison, I literally cannot get over how big this is. I don't think I bought much else from her. So I bought 2 other things. This is bigger than I thought it was as well. I swear, like everything I bought I thought was a lot smaller, because I was basing it on the size of this. I thought this is going to be like half the size. So this, like when I looked at it, was like a tiny bit of like clear like quartz, but now that I'm seeing it, it's like massive and it's a really interesting shape. That's why I bought it. So these bits are like all kind of like intersecting. It looks a bit like a T or a cross. She described it as a cross, but it looks more like a T to me. And I just think it's so pretty. Like it's almost like a wand like here and a bit growing off here. I think it's really nice, and there's like a lot of like interesting details within it. Like there's lots of orange in it, which is really strange, like orange and red flecks, which is quite strange for a clear quartz. But it'll be interesting to use this. Oh wow. This piece I was really unsure about buying because I wasn't quite sure what it was all about. The lady I bought this from didn't actually know what this is called, so if any of you do know the name of this, please do leave it below because I really would like to do a bit of research on it. Underneath it looks like there's almost like clear quartz, like a layer of it, and then on the top it almost looks like glittery moss. She just described it as like fairy balls, which I was like, yes, I need this, but I'm not really sure what this is. So if anyone you can like tell me what this is, that would be great. But it's kind of like a greeny, bluey sort of light colour, and then it has these ball formations. They are quite rough. It feels like they've got like been coated in like sugar, but it's really interesting, and I'd really like to use this. If someone could tell me what it is, then I could maybe experiment with this a bit more and know sort of how to look after it a little bit better. Thank you so much for watching. This video took a slightly different turn to what I was expecting. I'm definitely not going to complain about these new things that have come into my life. I really have spent a lot of money on sort of building up my crystal collection over the past couple of months, and this was probably like the biggest investment I have been yet to make on a single crystal, and I think it was totally worth it, but we'll have to just see. Time will only tell how much I will get out of this crystal. Everything I mentioned other than these last crystals I will link down below. I will try and give any information about any shops or anything along those lines. Thank you so much for watching. If you've got any questions or comments, please do leave them below. I hope you're having a lovely week, and if it's still sunny where you are, I hope that you're enjoying the shade. I'll see you next time. Bye!